Good evening. Today is Monday, July 5, 2021 here in Cebu City. I'm Romaine Rivera and you are watching SunStar Tonight. The Armed Forces of the Philippines has started its investigation into the C-130 crash that killed 47 military personnel and 3 civilians in Patipul, Sulu yesterday. Third Ann Malonzo reports.
A team from the Armed Forces of the Philippines arrived at the crash site in Sulu today to begin the investigation into the C-130 crash that killed 47 military personnel and 3 civilians last Sunday. AFP spokesperson Major General Edgar Arevalo said AFP Chief of Staff Cirilito Sobihana will oversee the operation and visit the survivors. Sobihana assured that the AFP, particularly the Philippine Air Force, will be transparent in the conduct of investigation. Arevalo said that the ill-fated aircraft is not brand new, but is in good condition. In its latest update, the Joint Task Force Sulu said more bodies have been retrieved from the crash site, raising the death toll to 50. It was said that majority of the bodies were charred and were beyond physical recognition. The ill-fated C-130 aircraft flew from the Villamor Air Base in Pasay City to Cagayan de Oro City in northern Mindanao to pick up soldiers for deployment in Sulu. It crashed and burst into flames at about 11:30 a.m. in Barangay Bangkal in the town of Patikul last Sunday. Eyewitnesses said a number of soldiers jumped out of the aircraft before it hit the ground and burst into flames. The AFP said that the C-130 is the sturdiest and strongest aircraft of the Philippines. Aside from military operations, it is also being used for relief operations and was tapped to deliver COVID-19 vaccines to the provinces in the country. Third Ann Peralta Malonzo, SunStar Tonight.
As the IATF relaxes domestic travel requirements for fully vaccinated individuals, the Philippine National Police will strictly monitor vaccination cards. Here's Mildred Galarpe for the report.
The Police Regional Office 7 has directed all city and provincial police directors to work with the health authorities in detecting authentic vaccination cards. Central Visayas Police Director Brigadier General Ronnie Montejo said they will ask the Department of Health to provide them copies of genuine vaccination cards. Montejo said policemen need to be familiar with the different vaccination cards so they can properly implement the new IATF resolution on domestic travel. According to the IATF resolution issued on July 2, 2021, presentation of a COVID-19 domestic vaccination card issued by a legitimate vaccinating establishment or certificate of quarantine completion showing the holder's vaccination status, as may be issued by the Bureau of Quarantine, will be sufficient alternatives to any testing requirement. The IATF clarified that travelers are still subject to the health and exposure screening implemented by the receiving local government unit upon arrival. Interzonal travel refers to movement between provinces and cities under different community quarantine classifications. Dr. Mary Jean Loreche, spokesperson of the Visayas COVID-19 Vaccination Operations Center, said they will wait for the appropriate measures to check the validity of the vaccination certificate following the new IATF resolution. Loreche said the national government and the Department of Information and Communications Technology are working on a uniform and standard national vaccine certificates. Mildred Galarpe, SunStar Tonight.
The Cebu City government has allowed around 600 vendors back in business in sidewalk areas with a width of 2.5 meters. Here's Kenneth Torres for the report.
Around 600 sidewalk vendors were allowed by the Cebu City government to sell their goods in sidewalk areas with a width of 2.5 meters. This came after the Garbo Asenso Sumbanan Alyansa or GASA has recommended to the city government to allow the return of sidewalk vendors. Chairman on Committee on Markets, Councilor Renato Osmeña Jr. said the vendors should follow the protocols implemented by GASA since they are the one who will regulate what they can sell.
Nagsuroy-suroy nagtanaw mi sa mga sidewalk vendors, nagtanaw mi kung nagsunod ba sila sa atong gipa-implement nga sizes sa stall o kung gibutang ba nila sa area nga designated sa ila. Pasalamat kay wa magpabadlong mga tao, nisunod sila.
The Prevention, Restoration, Order, Beautification and Enhancement or PROBE head Raquel Arce said they will implement the No ID, No Vending policy. Cebu City United Vendors Association head Maria Pino expressed support to the city government's move to help vendors who are affected by the clearing operations. The Cebu City Transportation Office said that stall owners and buyers should not park their vehicles on the sidewalks so they don't block pedestrians and among others. Last Friday, there were some sidewalk vendors who were allowed to sell in the streets of Colon, Osmeña Boulevard and Magallanes.
Ako lang hangyo na ninyo mga vendors nga wa pa kasugod, gamay nga pasensya. Okay? Because everything wa maghunong ug hunahuna atong mayor ninyo sama together with the vice mayor and councilors nga unsaon na nga dili mo ma-displace. Despite of this pandemic, everyone will go back to normal. Mao na atong hangyo ninyo. Make sure that everyone will be vaccinated.
Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources 7 has started a project in Mambacayao Island in the town of Bantayan, which aims to provide a legitimate livelihood to island folks who were once dynamite fishers. Here's the report. Jose Fernandez worked all his life as a fisherman in the small fishing island in Mambacayao, Bantayan Island. "20 years ago, Jose lost both his forearms to dynamite fishing. However, losing a limb did not stop him from illegal fishing, as this was the easiest and fastest way to feed his family.
Labay ko nahog, niya akong ipunit. Nahog sa luwang ba na? Akong ipunit. Dito. Maaro po yung nasutos kung una-una. Ambak ko ato, ambak ko ato. Maaro na isuot kung una nga punit ko. Kaya basta kalit niya, ito, hindi makatunaw na ano. Yung alayan panganaw na ano.
Jose is not the only one in the island. There are others like him who either lost a vision or the sense of hearing due to dynamite fishing. For Jose, it was a difficult life as he was always on the lookout for authorities who are also looking for illegal fishers like him. But as the saying goes, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. In 2019, the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources launched Operation Balikbuhay. For decades, Mambacayao was known for its dynamite fishing activities. The illegal activities have destroyed the marine ecosystem in the islet, affecting the food supply. The islet, a 2-hour boat ride from Bantayan Island, is part of the Visayan Sea's and rich fishing ground. It was identified as the most suitable site for seaweed farming. BFAR, under Operation Balikbuhay, introduced seaweed farming in the island. BFAR distributed 20-footer boats made of fiberglass and equipped with all accessories, seaweed farming implements like ropes, and seaweed seedlings to the island folks. Fishermen were taught the latest technology to ensure a high yield in seaweed farming and fish cages for milkfish or bangus. If you visit Bantayan now, you will see curtains of seaweed dried in the playground or carpets of it near the shoreline. Men usually are responsible for harvesting and planting the seaweeds, while women prepare the seaweeds for replanting and drying. Today, BFAR Regional Director Allan Poquita is asking seaweed farmers to group themselves for the establishment of a seaweed hatchery.
Kilograms of seedling ay butang na ito sa nursery na includes mga other materials para sa nursery, just like mga PC,
plastic straws, no?
plastic, o kumplito na siya ang atong yatak sa nursery project din sa
With the hatchery in the islet, seaweed farmers will have direct access to the seaweed seedlings. Poquita said Bantayan seaweed farming can be used as a model in other areas suitable for seaweed farming.
There's a possibility, maybe we will replicate the same program, same way. This is the first reward in this Bantayan Island. Sa garaw na to, sa BFAR, small of livelihood project, wala ka na yung nagtawag na to balik programa na mga illegal business ito.
Tomorrow, Bantayan Mayor Arthur Despy will explain the town's effort in restoring the depleting marine resources of the town. To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Follow us on our YouTube channel and official social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. Before we end our newscast, our warmest birthday greetings to Miss Cherry Ann Lynn. I'm Romaine Rivera. Thanks for watching SunStar Tonight. See you again tomorrow.